What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another one of my videos. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Chris. I teach you on how to live a way better life in general, and we just here to have a good time, right? And if you're revisiting the channel, welcome back. It's good to see you again. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is a desired video. Y'all been asking me left and right, sending me DMs, leaving comments on my pages. Y'all been waiting for this one. My name is Christopher Christensen, and I got my first investment property at 18, sold it, and got my second investment property at only 19 years old. So you can do it as well. So without further ado, this is how to get your very first investment property in 2026, no matter how old you are, except for you do have to be 18. So 18 and up. Anybody under 18, you can look forward to this. You can know and learn it, but you got to be 18 for this. That is my only disclaimer. Other than that, just got to put in the work and you got to keep grinding. But let's get it. So I'm going to go over a little bit of a breakdown before we actually dive into the steps, right? There's two different methods that are the easiest way that you can get your first investment property from starting from absolute zero, base ground zero. This is a video for everybody that's all the way down at the bottom to the top and everybody in between. This video will teach you how to do it from nothing, from scratch, like I did. So the two methods I recommend vary within, but they both require one thing. You need a source of income. So you need to get a job, whether it's, working two jobs, two low-paying jobs, whether you're working one job, you need to work a job. This life is a grind. You do got to grind, work your butt off, and it'll pay off, right? The more and more you work, the more and more easier it's going to get. So just know, the first step, you must have a job. Other than that, let's start the breakdown. The first method will be super straight, easy, straightforward to it. I'll tell you about that here in 1 second. The second step is going to be a little bit more complicated, but you are going to be able to get it a lot quicker in terms of the money. You'll see what I'm talking about. Method number one to getting your very first investment property is getting a job, like I said, of course, and making enough money that you can go on to places like Facebook Marketplace and purchase a trailer, a mobile home trailer, for very cheap. It's going to be a junky trailer. That's what it's going to be. At the end of the day, you're not hopping in with your first investment property, the nicest place there ever is that you could have gotten. No, there's a reason why you're watching this video. It's because you want an investment property. You don't got one yet, and you don't got the money to get one yet. So get a good job. Get a job that pays you enough that you can purchase your first investment property, a cheap one, a beater, if you will, a project house off of Facebook Marketplace. There's multiple different places, multiple different trailers. Depending on where you are located, it'll vary. It's kind of like a luck, right? You're waiting for somebody to sell something for cheap. This could take a lot longer because not only do you have to save up the money in order to purchase it, which means you got to work your butt off, but there isn't always a seller selling a beater trailer that is within your budget, right? These trailers can range anywhere from like $500 all the way up to like $6,000. And to me, that's very realistic in terms of getting the money to purchase a trailer. 500 to $6,000, easy, doable. That's just a little bit of grind time. Get that overtime, work your job, pick up any shifts that you can, and just hustle with your head down. At the end of the day, this entire process, both methods are hustle with your head down, and you'll make it. Like I said, the more and more work you put into these, the more and more easier it's going to get to continue going forward. It's like that snowball. It starts off really small, but the more and more it rolls down that hill, the bigger and bigger it gets, the more heavier it gets, the more faster it rolls down the hill, right? So the very first method, like I said, is very straightforward. Earn some money, work some overtime, pick up any downshifts, save up enough to get a beater trailer off of Facebook Marketplace, or somebody that you may know. Get a hold of different trailer courts. You can buy one super easy by just working your butt off. All right. I know that was super quick. I know that was an easy method, very straightforward to it, but It is to it. So now that you know the first method of how to get a investment property, your very first trailer, let's get into the cheaper alternative, but a little bit more steps to get there, right? So in my personal opinion, this is the route I took because not only are you saving some money on it, hopefully, but you are also, saving yourself the mental real estate of having to work as many hours, the mental real estate, the body exhaustion of having to work overtime, pick up downshifts. Now, will doing that help you? Absolutely. Did I work overtime? Absolutely. Did I go in on days that I didn't want to? Absolutely. But it is a lot cheaper. Therefore, if everything goes smoothly, you can and will get this investment property quicker than the first method. Also, you don't have to wait for a buyer. Overall, it's just the better method to do in terms of getting your first investment property. But again, step one is getting a job. You do need a source of income. You do need a little bit of money flow, whether that's $500 a week, $700 a week, $1,000 a week, whatever you can do. Work, get a good job, work your butt off. Get a source of income. That's the point I'm trying to make. Get a source of income. That is step number one. Once you get a source of income, now comes the fun part, scouting. You're going to be scouting. You're going to be looking. Contact all the trailer courts that you can and scout for trailers that are specifically abandoned. When you are scouting for your trailer, you want to make sure that the trailer is owned by a separate party that isn't the trailer court. It's a trailer that's owned by a person that is just on the trailer court's land, therefore they're only paying lot rent for it, right? Quote unquote abandoned. What do I mean by abandoned? Well, either the homeowner has lots of back rent due on the place and they are unable to do it because they had gotten arrested, they're sitting in prison, or somebody, as bad as this sounds, somebody had passed away, they can't do it. Abandoned places, quote unquote abandoned places. There's a whole bunch of different things which qualify a place for abandoned, but again, this is going to be different for where you are located. So definitely look into your state's laws and what considers a place abandoned in your state. So while you're scouting, keep your eye open for things that seem to be in good quality in terms of the bones of the trailer. You want to make sure that you are purchasing and going forward with something that isn't non-recoverable, right? If there's really bad issues, if all of the plumbing is messed up, don't even take it. It's not even worth your time. This is your first investment property, not your 90th. So you're not going to have capital to invest into it as much as you would if it was your fifth or sixth investment property. If there are certain issues wrong with the trailer that you are purchasing, I would say just don't go for it. Structure, bones, plumbing, things like that. If you feel like it or you feel like you have the ability to do so, go for it. By no means am I telling you not to take it if you like what you see. But what I am telling you is be careful, because there will be a lot of places that you end up finding that are considered abandoned, but it's for a reason. It's because the place isn't good enough. There's something majorly wrong with it. If there's big issues and big projects that you don't think you can take on, don't do it. It's not worth the mental real estate. It's not worth the capital that you'll dump into it. At the end of the day, this is about making your life easier and helping you get one step further and this is about getting you one step closer to achieving your dreams, your goals, and the life you want to live, right? So look for these abandoned places with courtesy, and eventually you will find one. As I found mine, you guys will be able to find yours. It just takes time, looking, and whatnot like that. So once you have found these quote unquote abandoned trailers, you are able to take the next step forward to where things start to actually get fun. You start to hop into a process of actually obtaining your very first investment property. Once you found your trailer that you are interested in, So the trailer court and you are going to have to talk. You're going to have to talk to them about you wanting to get your first investment property. When you are doing your written statement, you also are going to be needing to be in contact and an agreement with the trailer court, telling them and making an agreement with them that you are going to take their abandoned property off their hands, move into it eventually, start fixing it up while still paying the lot rent for them, right? Because in most all trailer courts should agree, because they are wanting to make money at the end of the day, the same way you are wanting to make money. So them having an abandoned trailer, nobody's paying the lot rent, nobody's paying utilities, garbage, any of that stuff. They want to make some money. So when you make an agreement with the trailer court, you're basically helping them out and they're helping you out. It's a symbiotic relationship you're basically creating with this trailer court. You're going to take the abandoned trailer off their hands while still paying them lot rent, right? Because the trailer will eventually be in your name and they are just going to collect lot rent from you. So they're going to make money from you. And, you know, if it works out, it works out. Some trailer courts might not want to. If they don't, move on. It is what it is. It's life. But most trailer courts should agree with this because they want to make money just as much as you want to make money. And when you have that agreement with them, they will need to provide a written statement to the sheriff's office as well. They are going to need to provide the last time they consented to the abandoned property being on their property, you know, their land, their lot. And it's very important that when you are selecting or scouting for a trailer, that you find one that isn't owned by the trailer court, but owned by somebody that's on the trailer court's land. So on the written statement, they are going to provide all of the details just as much as you are going to provide the details. They're going to sign it, they're going to date it, and they're going to get a hold of the law enforcement to get a VIN inspection. That's the next step, VIN inspection. You must get a vehicle identification number inspection. What does that mean? That means law enforcement is going to fill out the paperwork for the VIN inspection, and that's really that step. Let's move forward. Once law enforcement has gotten back to you with that completed VIN paperwork, you are going to submit an abandoned vehicle identification to your vehicle transportation, titling, and motor vehicle licensing. Again, this is an abandoned vehicle identification request. Along with that, you're going to give them the original VIN advit and the required fee to move forward. This allows for any information to be found about past titles or linen. This allows for a search to be conducted on any existing title or line information. Once you get all of the information back from the request, you're going to round up all of your documents nice and neatly and provide them back to the sheriff's office. This consists of your written statement, the trailer court's written statement, the VIN inspection, and the request identification details. The sheriff's office will then review all of the information and get back to you. So back to the first step. If you recall, I talked about the abandoned home could be of someone that has went to jail or prison. This is the most best case scenario, right? The next step is it going to auction, right? So it's going to go on a public auction. This is the step that either can make or break the situation, right? Because if you win the auction, you get it, you can get it for super cheap. And the only other price you'll have to pay is the back taxes on the property that the person hasn't paid. After completing the auction, you'll go to your county clerk and receive the title for the place that you had just won in the auction. So then go to your county clerk, obtain the title, and you will have to pay the back taxes on it. Like I said, you will have to receive the tax statements on the property and pay up. For me, that was like $45 or so. For some other people, it could be up in the hundreds. So again, take that into consideration when choosing your trailer if you are able to get access to them tax statements and documents when you're scouting. Keep that in mind. If not, then it's a luck of the draw, right? And that's also where step number 1 comes back into play, having a source of income. If you genuinely have a source of income, it's steady, you're getting paid, and it's a good enough job, because remember, you shouldn't be signing up for any jobs that you aren't worth working, then you should be able to have enough income to pay for the back taxes. Save up a little bit of money before doing this. So just in case if those back taxes are a lot higher than you expected, you'll still have some capital to put into it, right? So once you are able to pay the back taxes, the trailer is now yours. The title gets put into your name, you own it, and the only other things you have to pay for are supplies to upgrade it, the lot rent, and any utilities if you are living within it. If you're not living within it, you ain't got to pay for Wi-Fi. You'll pay for very low water, because I'm sure you'll use water to clean the place, right? But if you're not living in it, you won't need water. But if you are trying to get your first place and your first investment property, you can actually live in it as well, because it's in your name now, right? It's not a place that you just go to. It's not a place that you just work on. You can actually live in this investment property. That's also the perk about this, is both methods that I talked about, whether you buy it from Facebook Marketplace or you go through with the sheriff's title and an agreement with the trailer court to help them out and they help you out, you actually get a place to live. So if you're looking to move into your first trailer, you can move into it. If you're looking to just work on it, you can just work on it. You can do whatever you want with it, because it is now your trailer, right? At the end of the day, the housing game is monopoly. You get properties, you upgrade them, and you make money off it. That's what it is at the end of the day. If you can't pay for your properties, they're gone. See ya, goodbye. But yeah, that's how you can get your very first investment property. That's how I got my very first investment property at only 18 years old. Second investment property at only 19 years old. How did I get the second investment property, you may be asking? Did I use one of those methods? No, not at all. Once you upgrade that first investment property enough, that's all you need. All you need is one investment property. All you need is one investment property. And you'll be set to go onward and onward and onward and onward and upgrade and upgrade and upgrade. A new place, bigger place, better place, right? Once you get that first investment property, all you need to do is invest enough capital into it, enough time, enough energy into that very first investment property, upgrade it good, and sell it. Once you sell it, you now have bigger profit margin. You now have more capital to dump into, let's say, another cheap place, but then you have a lot more money to spend on resources for it, or put it into a little bit nicer of a place that with your steady income that you're already getting. Like I said, step 1, get a source of income. With that steady income that you're already getting, you can give that right back into it and right back into it. And that's the name of the game. It's consistency. It's dumping, working and dumping that cash, working and dumping the cash. You're like a dirt truck. You go and you pick up a bunch of dirt, you pick up a bunch of cash, you go back to the pile and you dump it, and you're trying to make the pile as big as possible. But then you realize that the pile is not growing as quick. So what do? You buy better equipment to get that stuff. You sell some of that dirt that you picked up and you go and get better equipment. At the end of the day, if I can do it, somebody who had started from nothing, then you can as well. I believe in you, but you must believe in yourself as much as I believe in you. This is how you can complete the objective of getting your very first investment property at 18 years old, at the youngest. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I had a good time making it. I know you guys have been anticipating, waiting on it. I've been up on my social medias talking about, yeah, I'm going to teach you how, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, I wanted to make this video in the best quality as possible. I wanted to wait until I got my setup upgraded. I wanted to wait until I was in a better space to record it. And I wanted to wait until after I had finished completing and selling my first investment property. That way I can teach you everything from start to finish. I am going to be making an update video, a part 2 to this video, if you will, on the process of upgrading it, different ideas of things that you can do to upgrade it, things that will give you the most amount of value within it, and the selling process, what to do once you've got done upgrading it, and how you can maximize your profit. Again, this is a game of time, a game of waiting, a game of chance, some would say, in certain areas, whether it's waiting for the perfect trailer to be on the market, waiting for the perfect position that gives you the leverage to do this, right? But stay consistent, stay looking. You know what they say, a captain of a ship, right, gets onto his ship. And while the captain of the ship is on the ship, he knows where he's going. Although he doesn't exactly see the dock he's pulling up. He knows exactly what dock he's pulling up. He knows an estimate of what time it's going to take. Of course, there will be storms on the seas that will push things back a little bit, but he knows exactly where he's going. And that's my point. Although he does not see the dock the entire time until the last few hundred feet, he doesn't see the dock. He doesn't see the location. He doesn't see the destination. He knows exactly where he's going. Sell your boat like that captain. Know exactly where you're going, even when you don't see it, even when it's not in arm's length reach. Know exactly where you're going, and you will go there, even when you don't see it. And only then will you start to see it when you get closer. I wish you all the best of luck. And if you do it, you will. If you don't, you don't. But you are the only person that can get you to where you want to go. I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I had a good time making it. I'll see y'all on part 2. I'm sure I'll be making that soon. And yeah, have an amazing day. Thanks for watching the video. Welcome back to the channel. Hello if you're new. And until next time, YouTube, I'm gonna catch you on the flip.